see my screen now?
Yes, we can see it.
Nice, thank you. Thanks. So this is the landing page of the platform. Here is where the visitors first arrives. There are 4 main buttons leading to the different components of the platform. I have to say that these components, we can divide them into groups. Firstly, those that they target some audience, wide audience with maybe not very familiar with geospatial data. So in those components, the data support some are supported by text descriptions and are presented in this way. For example, starting with the first button, the services. It's on this type. Here we can explore what is available by the project in terms of data and services. We can see that there is actually a list of all the available services and products by the project. So by clicking further and navigating through this list, we can have a look on what actually each product is referring to and how it is developed, and some information regarding this and its service and its product at in a level in a lower level. So, for example, here we can see that on the 7th service, we can see the product related to the weather forecast. We have some information here about this product, and there is the related data to this product are presented here as a list or as or displayed on a map, an interactive map. This is the part of the platform where you can navigate through the data. Here, the relevant to the product data are preloaded on this map, so we can navigate them. And this is a component I'm gonna go through later on in detail. So in that part of the platform, we can have a look on what is available and get to know what are the possibilities from the platform. Going back to the landing page, in a similar way, we can navigate through the use cases, and in that case, to the use case of Ghana, for example, and where the user story is described here, and required Africultures products for this user story. We can click further and go directly to the various maps and see the relevant products. And we can also see other forms of data. For example, here there are some land cover maps of Ghana preloaded that are relevant to this user story. Let me go through in detail to this tool that we can actually visualize the data. It is something that we can access either from the component where the services or the use cases are described, or either directly from the landing page. So this is the WebGIS. This is the part of the platform where we can actually explore the data directly through a WebGIS service on a map. For example, on the left, top left, there is a green button saying Add Data. From here, we can navigate through a catalog where all the data products are grouped under the services of Africultures and the products. We can this way load by pressing this button on the plus one. We can add the data on the map, so we can view. Let me zoom in a little bit. There is a panel on the left, the control panel, where we can actually interact with the data and explore them further. There are various options regarding the visualization or navigating through the time. For example, we can change the labeling options by changing the color scale, for example. We're still viewing the same data set, the 2-meter air temperature. And so we can also play with different scales of stretching the data from minimum and maximum. We can insert these values manually. This is an option provided by this WebGIS. There is another functionality regarding the time aspect, the dimension of the data. We can select different time steps. For example, this is a data set related to the weather forecast, and it is available for the coming 7 days. So we can navigate through different steps in time by either selecting the date and time, or by just pressing the buttons left and right to navigate. Or we can also view the time series by just on the bottom of the screen. There is a timeline where we can navigate, or we can just press the play button and view the data moving on, like a short video. This is an interesting functionality. So apart from this, we can also plot the time series by pressing on the map, at the point on the map. We can get for each pixel. For example, it's here. We can get the time series. Yeah, for example, here we can get this is, I guess, the daily ups and downs of the temperature. So throughout those days available for this data set. So this is a nice functionality to view the time series and have an interpretation on this. There are also some other options, like let me load another data set, for example, a vegetation related one. If we go to the crop and the crop condition monitoring, here is a list of available data. We can load, for example, the NDVI. Let me play a little bit with the opacity, or I can also add the administrative boundaries of the country, so we know where we are. So, for example, here we have the NDVI, and we can, of course, play different with the time. We can, again, as before, I showed, we can plot the time series, and we can also draw a polygon where we can get some statistics, zonal statistics of this polygon. So by clicking on the add data on the data catalog, coming first on the list is the zonal statistics tool, where we can actually draw a polygon or insert the coordinates. And then run the analysis and get, I think it needs to refresh, and get the minimum or maximum or mean values for this particular area of this of the data set. So it sometimes needs just to refresh it. The crop condition monitoring, the NDVI. Okay. Oh, I can do the LAI, for example. I think that works properly. So the regional statistics, we draw the polygon, and we get for this particular area of interest, we just draw on the left a summary of the statistics for this area for the layer of the LAI in that case, or depending what you'd like to see. So these are some interesting functionalities. We can, of course, share. We can create a map. As here is a place where we create the maps, and we can share further. We can create a story. We can capture a scene and save it, or we can just share. Share print, here is a button. We can copy the URL and then load it, and we can have it directly, the map, as we just created it. Going back to the use case of Ghana, here is a map relevant to the use case. I don't know, I'm not an expert on this field, but this is follows the logic that the data themselves, they support the story given, and also has the advantage that the part where the data are displayed is interactive, so we can also explore the data or even load more, make comparisons based on the story, and create a new map, for example. Yeah, at this point, I would like to show you the last part of the Africultures platform. You can access it, for example, from the last button, the Africulture GeoBI. This is the GeoBI. This here is a part of the platform where the data can be presented in a form of dashboards. So dashboards of different visualizations. This is quite useful for having a different insight of the data. In that case, is an example of having the NDVI in various administrative areas of the country, and you see that we get the zonal statistics, for example, for these areas, but we can load any kind of data, and we can present it and view it in various ways. Here is a map together with some histograms of the fluctuation of the NDVI, for example. But it can be whatever. This is this is a tool that we can visualize the data in different ways. So this is something that so far the dashboards are built in a way that is supporting the use cases stories, but it is open. We can create more dashboards, or the responsible for creating the use stories can decide how is the most convenient way to present the data for monitoring purposes or for other purposes. So this is another way to present the data. Yeah, more or less, these are the main parts of the platform. I don't know if there are questions we might answer.